What's up, guys? Coming to work on the Corvette project today. This is my second project. Now, Jeep project's the first project. This is project number 2. Well, I'll probably get both of them half complete because that's typically the way things go. But we're gonna keep chipping away at it. Today, though, I'm going to try to free up a little bit of horsepower with some homebrew mods. And anyone who searched for them know there are several homebrew mods for the Corvette. There's not anything that's specifically difficult to do. It is a fairly basic motor, a fairly basic vehicle, but there is a lot of little things that you can do to free up horsepower here, horsepower there. We're not talking about 20 horsepower, 30. We're not talking about anything dramatic. We're just talking about a little bit more efficient here and there that will allow me to pull a little more power. So the first thing we're going to do today is the Airbox mod. The Corvette Airbox, where the filter goes, is very restrictive for no reason whatsoever. So we're going to free that up and make that less restrictive. So we'll get right into that. So this is the C4 air filter assembly, guys. You've seen a million videos on this probably if you've been on YouTube looking at it. This is my take on it and how I'm going to do it. It's not going to be revolutionary or anything, but this is the first of a couple of homebrew potential power mods that we're going to try. Excuse the noise. I'm letting the Corvette heat up to temperature because I'm seeing if my hack job fan fix is going to work for now, because I just want to drive it a little bit and I didn't want to use the switches on the fan. So I did some creative wiring, you might say, and we'll see if it works. I'm not really going to cover it on the video because it's not anything I would recommend anyone else doing. I'm going to show you the actual fix for it and how to diagnose it in a later video. But first, let's talk about the air filter mod. So anyone who's done any research on C4s knows that this is the air filter assembly that comes off the front of the engine compartment. It just comes off with these 3 bolts, and then the whole plastic piece and metal piece come off. There's my disgusting air filter. I did buy a K&N to replace it, but I bought the wrong K&N, so this will have to go back in. I'll blow it out until I get the K&N. Then there's the plastic piece. As you can see, this is very restrictive. There's no real need for this grate to be on there. What we're going to do is cut this grate off to keep the air flowing in like it should. So as you can see, this air filter fits right here on the lip, all the way around, fits perfectly, which means we can cut as far back as this lip. Now I'm not going to do that because I'll make it kind of flimsy. But luckily there's already this bend right here. I'm going to cut along this bend all the way around. Then I'm going to grind the edges off and then remount it, and then that's it. It's like the simplest mod ever. I'm just going to use a cutoff wheel on a 4.5-inch grinder. Alright guys, here's what it looks like cut out. I did a horrible job of cutting it out. Really didn't clamp it down right, but who cares? Because I'm going to take a grinder to all this and pretty it up and even these lines up, so it doesn't matter. I just need to get the bulk of the material out so I can then work with it. That shouldn't take too much longer, and then we'll put it back in. Put a coat of spray paint on it, put it back in. Give me a chance to put some Krylon Fusion on the plastic air collector as well, and then this one will be done. And there it is, reinstalled. You can see a lot more airflow. You can see it definitely needs that K&N. So with the K&N, once I get it and this, and one more power mod, I could say power mod, that's kind of a misnomer, but this thing is called a Frisbee to people who know Corvettes, and it is a dampener for the AC. Now I know that's not the AC, that's the water pump. When the AC kicks on this vehicle, not this one particularly, but Corvettes, it tends to cause a lot of vibration, and that's a dampener that helps deal with that vibration. Even one of the head Corvette designers has said that it's not really needed, especially if you don't run your AC often, and I don't. And obviously this one is not hooked up. So I will be hooking the AC up, but even then, 9 out of 10 times, I'm not going to be using the damn AC. So I'm going to take that disc off. That is a pretty heavy disc, and it does rob a little bit of inertia or power to it. So I think with the K&N filter, the Airbox Mod, and that, I might be able to realistically increase 5 horsepower. Which, hey, any horsepower is good horsepower, especially when this one is essentially free. I'm going to buy a K&N filter anyway, so it's essentially free, and that one is definitely free. So that's 2 good horsepower mods, guys. Well, I say good, easy horsepower mods. So guys, that is generally how you do the Airbox Mod. I know I didn't go step by step and show every little bitty thing, but if you're doing the mod, you should have enough wherewithal and enough automotive sense to understand what I left out. It's pretty generic, basic stuff. And of course, the mod itself is very generic. You just take the metal box, you cut a big ass hole in it, you put the filter in it, and then that lets more air into the intake. It is best designed with a K&N filter. Obviously, the K&N filter I bought was the wrong size. That was my mistake. So I'll have to exchange that for a different filter, and then I'll have the K&N filter installed as well. I didn't have time for the Frisbee mod necessarily in this video. So a few things about the car. I've been able to drive it a little more now. It does have a lot of torque when the kick down cable hits and it kicks down in the gear. It goes very quickly from 20 to 60. It goes very quickly from 0. It's a pretty quick car to only have probably 205 tire horsepower, wheel horsepower, I would say. I mean, it has 250 crank, but that's really nothing in today's standards. Well over 300 pound-foot of torque. Means that it does get up and go. It has some knock you in your seat, knock you back in your seat power, and in the low range. Of course, this car redlines at really 6,000, 5,500 really. You can see it redlines, I mean, at nothing. So it is designed to make power at low RPMs, which really isn't bad when you're just talking about coming off the red light with a car next to you. But if you get up in any speed, anything over 60, 70 miles an hour, you're going to get beat handily because it makes no power over 4,000 RPMs. So I'm going to do some things to fix all that. Well, I ain't going to do too much because you got to really put some money into these L98s to fix that too much. I'm just going to give it a little more horsepower, make it breathe a little bit better, and just make it into something enjoyable to drive, make it sound good, make it look good. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was educational for those that are just now getting into this model Corvette. This is the model Corvette to start getting. This is going to be the Corvette model, not 91 specifically, but the C4s are going to be the ones coming up soon that you can get affordably. They're in okay shape, maintain and or restore a little bit, and in 10 years, 10 to 15 years, they'll be worth a little bit of money. You look back at the late model C3s now, which you know, that whole 76 through 82 model, and they are starting to get where you can't find them. That's what I used to have. I used to have a 79 model, and at the time, I think I sold it for $4,500, which was about what it was worth. I had some issues, but it was generally restored. It was in pretty good shape. That was back, you know, 10, 15 years ago. Now, I couldn't buy a car in the shape that I sold for less than $9,000, $8,000, $9,000. That's what this car will be in 10 more years. This car will be, of course, inflation will have a hand in that as well, but this car will be the $10,000 car or more in 10 to 15 years because you just won't be able to find them. They'll start, even though they made a ton of them, especially 91 through 96, and really the LT4, 90, 95, 96 LT4 cars, or maybe that was just 96. Either way, the LT4 cars will be very sought after, but even these late L98s with the curved panels and newer interior, if done properly, will be worth a good bit of money in the years to come. Not in 2 years, not in 5 years, 10 to 15 years out, and they'll be worth, they'll start going up dramatically in value. So guys, more videos coming. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up. If it's your first time visiting, please subscribe. It does help tremendously. and have a great day.